Hey guys, what is up? I'm TheJunkernaut, and today is all about continuing to make good on my promise of finishing build videos. We're going to be doing that by revisiting the super low cost DIY drift trike build. If you guys haven't watched part 1 of the drift trike build, I invite you guys to do that now. It's either over there or over there. I can never remember. The reason the video got delayed so long was I had some computer problems and I had to change hard drive, operating system. Both the edit file for the completed video got lost, and the editing program I was using at the time was no longer available or applicable with my current operating system. Basically what I've had to do is just completely re-edit the footage. I put that off again and again because I was kind of frustrated by that situation. At any rate, this video does take us all the way to the drift trike being completely fully functional, but everything doesn't go quite to plan, so I'll explain about that more in a minute. It's almost completely dark outside and I want to try it out real quick. The whole point of a drift trike is that the back wheels don't have very much traction. And what doesn't have very much traction? Ice and snow. It's apparently 7 degrees outside, which is too cold for exposed fingers. Something failed, I'm not sure what it was. You can see it's all bent right here. And that probably happened when I fell off. So if we flipped the wheels around and we removed this spacer and put it on the other side, may have a little bit less torque on the end. Got some more gloves on. Got the wheels turned around, the bolt back in place, so let's give it one more run. The only thing that really needs to be done for it to be totally functional is to add some kind of a seat. So this one actually came off of a chair from an orange leaf store. It's a frozen yogurt place. Now I thought when I grabbed this that there was going to be some kind of inset nuts in there that you could attach a bolt to, but I think if they were in there, at some point they broke off. So I think I'm going to drill a pilot hole through this way, through each one of the holes, and then drill 4 holes in the top and see if I can actually set the bolts in and bolt it down that way. Honestly, I don't have super high hopes for it, but I have pretty much no other use for this. I just took the trike down its first hill, and while a lot of things worked on it really good and it was a lot of fun, we did have one major problem. Got down to the bottom of the hill, thought I'm going to walk up and do it again, and realized that one of my PVC slips over the wheels had completely come unglued. The version 1 wheels are not holding up to the task. I'm going to go ahead and try some wood glue. And before, the major problem was that we were trying to basically gap fill this, and I think the wood glue might do an okay job, but technically we'd probably be way better off with epoxy or something. Decided I am going to put a couple little like 1-inch screws into the wheel. I'm just going to make sure that I countersink them real good so that they're not actually in contact with the road. Now that I've done the kind of final mock-up of the drift trike and made sure that all the pieces are fitting together and working at least relatively well, I'm going to go ahead and take it apart, cut things down, form it a little bit better so that everything will fit and look a little bit nicer. Pretty much perfect. I'm just going to clean up the edges real quick with my sandy dandy belt sander. Pull through and it sits right in there. Be real careful on this part. It's got to be super precise. Like a glove. Once I got the wheels kind of modified with the screws and the new glue in there and the trike all put back together, I did actually use it a few more times and it worked fine. There was no big problem with it. It performed admirably for how cheaply and kind of ghetto it was made. It worked pretty well. Unfortunately, some of the only GoPro footage that I had for me actually riding the trike got lost at the same time that my old hard drive failed, and so that's kind of unfortunate, and there is a reason why we can't really film more right now. Roll the clip. That was cool. Well, there's your problem. So, you know, lesson learned. I was definitely aware that that seat was not the best case scenario for this kind of a build, especially after I realized it was mostly hollow and then had to drill a bunch of holes into it. But even still, it would be a pretty easy fix if you just got a better seat, put it right on there, drift trike would be up and running. The second problem is that the more I looked around, the harder I realized it was to find in the city that I live. Hills that were steep enough to actually be fast and fun that weren't also main roads that had like a lot of cars on them. So finding a place to use the drift trike in a semi-safe environment proved actually be pretty difficult. That's why part 3 of the build was always supposed to be either a electric mounted motor on the front wheel or some kind of pedal system so I could actually self-propel myself and enjoy riding it more on flat land, you know, in like open parking lots and stuff like that. Ideally, I don't really like to end videos on kind of a Debbie Downer, but at the same time, that's just honestly where the build's kind of at. It's a little bit stalled. I would still call this build a moderate success, considering that we were shooting for like a $10 to $20 price range. That's like ludicrously cheap for something like this. If you guys enjoyed this throwback ghetto build video and you want to see more ghetto stuff from me in the future, including this DIY electric skateboard that I've made, go ahead and like this video as well as clicking subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be sure and hear the notifications. Social media, music, video links down in the description box below. Stay classy, and I'll see ya in the next one.